So, the 2024 United States Grand Prix around the circuit of the Americas was a very eventful and very controversial one for the championship battle. And we also got a bit of a surprise result today in terms of the winners and the driver that finished in second place. So let's dive into it, guys. Let's dissect this as much as we can with the 5 things that we learned from the 2024 United States Grand Prix. So let's start with the championship protagonist. Lando Norris starting on pole position, Max Verstappen starting in second place. Lando Norris got off to a good start in this one, but Max Verstappen got off to a better start as he went down the inside into turn 1 to force his title rival wide into the exit of the corner. Now, some people might say that, Max was very aggressive with that one, and absolutely he was aggressive, but he was not over the line really for me. There was no real issue with that one. Lando Norris did not cover off the inside properly, unlike what Max Verstappen did yesterday, of course, during the sprint race. He should have really learned with that one, and because of that as well, Lando Norris ended up going all the way down to P4. Max Verstappen held on into P2, but these two would do battle much later on in the race. This was a one-stop race, going from medium to the hard tyre for most drivers. All the leaders did this strategy. The McLarens, though, ran a lot longer than what the Red Bull of Max Verstappen and the 2 Ferraris of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz did as well. So that meant that they had fresher hard tyres in the latter stages of the race. And we've got to talk about the battle between Max and Lando. Now, I'm going to do a full in-depth video on this, going over why there's been a penalty applied and what's going on with this one. Very controversial call over show, so do check out that video. That will be out very shortly on this channel, just after the 5 things review goes live as well. But I'm not going to go into who's right or who's wrong with that one, but basically, Lando Norris was catching Max Verstappen for 3rd place. He was a much faster driver. He couldn't quite get in a position to overtake for the most part, though, despite his better pace. Max Verstappen did an incredible job, in my opinion. Absolutely incredible defending to fend off Lando Norris for as long as what he did. Lando Norris eventually, though, got an amazing run out of the hairpin corner. I think it's turn 11. But got the DRS, went around the outside. Lando overtook, but he overtook off the track. Now, the other viewpoint is that Max Verstappen forced him off the track. But what happened with that is that Lando Norris kept the position. He tried to pull out a 5-second gap to try and fend off any kind of penalty he might get. The stewards did give him a penalty, though, a 5-second penalty. Norris was just over 4 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen by the line. So Verstappen finishes in 3rd place and gains, I believe it will be 3 points on his title rival with that. Verstappen finishing in 3rd, 15 points. Lando Norris in 4th with 12 points. But yeah, that is the quickest way I can summarise it. If you want to check out my full opinion on it, full video will be out very shortly. That's just the first thing. We've taken far too long with that, but very eventful in the title battle. Bad day for McLaren and Lando Norris on the whole, if we're being honest here. They have to keep gaining to get a chance at the championship. They didn't gain, they lost again for the 2nd day in a row. They'll hope for much better in Mexico next weekend. But at the front, the winners of the race were Ferrari. Charles Leclerc took advantage of the battle between Verstappen and Norris into the first corner, and from there he took the lead and never looked back. He was absolutely dominant today. An incredible drive. Vindication, really, for some of his worst performance here last season, where I believe he had a podium taken away from him due to the disqualification of his car. He won, though, today. The first time he's won around Kota, I believe, as well. He's broken Max Verstappen's streak of 3 victories around the circuit of the Americas in a row. Excellent day for him and Ferrari. Carlos Sainz as well was brilliant too. He was hot on the heels of Max Verstappen during the early stages, pitted early, did the undercut, overtook, got into P2, and that's all despite him apparently smelling fuel in the car early on as well. Thankfully, not a serious incident, and Carlito finishes in P2. Fantastic day for Ferrari. They have a real shot, an outside shot of the Constructors Championship. It is not out of the question yet. They must be very close to Red Bull after this race. Let's talk about Mercedes, though. Very bittersweet day for them for sure. Hamilton got off to a fantastic start early on. They did not elect him to start him from the pit lane. He went from P17 to P12 on lap 1, but on lap 3 he went into the gravel. The car just didn't have enough grip going into the penultimate corner, and because of that we saw the first safety car in 10 races. The first safety car, Bernd Maylander, finally doing what he's paid to do, not crash the car at Monza. He was out on the track during a Grand Prix for the first time since Canada. But yeah, let's talk about George Russell very briefly, though. He went from the pit lane to P6, and that was despite having a 5-second penalty before forcing Valtteri Bottas off the track. More on that in the opinion about Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, because there's some interesting differences between them, or similarities depending on how you look at it. It was also a pit lane to points performance for Liam Lawson. P9 on his first race back at RB. Someone said to me that he had no chance of getting into the points really during this Grand Prix because he was going to start at the back of the grid. He's done it though. P9, incredible performance by him. Fantastic for him and RB. A huge couple of points in their battle with Haas in the Constructors Championship. I believe Haas have leapfrogged RB in the championship though, because Nico Hulkenberg managed to get 8th in this race. So let's also give a very quick shout out to Colapinto as well. A point today. Some fantastic racing with the likes of Kevin Magnussen, Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso throughout this race too. But yeah, great for RB, terrible though for Alpine. Oh my days, Alpine. You know, Gasly had some fantastic pace early on in this race. He was all the way up in P6 in the early stages, but as soon as they put the hard tyres on that car, it just fell down the grid like no end. Got a penalty as well for forcing another driver off the track. Many drivers actually got that same penalty. And yeah, big chance missed for Pierre Gasly. Ended up in P12, and that's a big loss of points. Really, again, Williams scoring, Williams getting more an advantage compared to Alpine. But yeah, guys, there we go. Those are the 5 things we learned from the United States Grand Prix. Some people might say not the most entertaining affair for the most part, but towards the end it definitely heated up between Red Bull and McLaren. Exactly what you want to see. But who was your driver of the day today? For me, I'll be honest, I'm going to go for George Russell. E6 from the pit lane is no mean feat when his teammate, a 7-time world champion, spun off after 3 laps. A very good day for George Russell, to be honest. But who's your driver of the day, guys? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, we'll be back with some more F1 content. Like I said, I'll be giving my opinion about that incident, the penalty incident between Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. So yeah, see you very soon, guys. Let's keep going with this season. It's really heating up in the latter stages now. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell as well. I'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.